background on Pilot. We are at the largest travel center company in North America. We have roughly a little over 870 locations across North America. Our travel centers support 1.3 million people every day come through there. So a large footprint, really focused on that. A lot of people stop there though and think of that retail business and talk about how many Twix you can sell or Doritos or whatever. But really, an underpin of that is the fuel and energy business, which I'm associated with. On the size and scale of that business, we supply a little bit over 15 billion gallons of fuel annually. We are the largest supplier of renewables and biodiesel in the United States. Um, our customer base, we have greater than 70,000 fleet customers. We ship on 20 pipelines here in the US. We own and operate 10 terminals and rail facilities. Uh, we have a little bit over 9 million barrels of storage at over 200 locations currently, and we're sourcing at over 1,300 different locations. What that means in our ETRM is we have over 2,300 product and location combos that we manage and operate and try to maintain. Um, and something that people don't tend to think about, but we also operate the third largest tanker fleet in the United States. What that means to our stores, as well as our customers, is we deliver over 2,500 loads per day of fuel. So a large data transaction, large network that we manage. The key for us is to keep our stores operational. When you show up, is to have the fuel there. A lot of us don't think about that, but when you go to fill up gasoline or diesel fuel, we're behind the scenes there, making sure that those are delivered in full for us as well as our customers. Overall, my role, I probably should have led with that, but CFO of that energy side. So you have kind of the stores and then you have energy. I'm the CFO of energy, overseeing our market risk, mid-office P&L, trade finance, treasury, credit, accounting, our trade operations, which is exchange activity, settlements, confirms, and so on. Um, our focus in looking at it, which is a little bit of kind of highlighting and try to get some of that data. For us at Pilot, we used to purchase everything really below the rack. And starting in 2017, we went on a massive expansion. And since then, we've had 5 acquisitions, and then off of that, really organically grew on top of that scale. So really exploded this with growth. What that resulted in for us, and a lot of you have gone through this, is just really a myriad of processes. We grew so fast, we couldn't put things together. So we had bespoke data coming from all sorts of locations. And in fact, we had processes that people would look at it and automate that and handle it in different ways. Um, that resulted for us massive manual touches and aggregation of information. And really, anyone that spent time in the space, we all kind of talk about one version of the truth, one answer. We had many. We had commercial teams aggregating information. We had support teams, and we were spending a lot of time trying to reconcile that. So not only was it slow, um, we struggled with the reconciliation, the data cleansing, et cetera. And the other piece that's really in there for our automation focus that comes out of that is really the underutilization, I'd say, of our team members. We have fantastic team members here at Pilot, really bright people, but we were having them do clerical functions. So we were underutilizing them, and quite frankly, trying to add value for those folks in their career development, but also our firm and making better decisions. We were letting our processes and management of data get in the way of that. So our need around this and our scope was really around getting more efficient, accurate, more timely data that we could rely on and make better decisions. Also freeing up our employees to do better and perform in a better aspect. Um, Within there, the AI and the tools in which we have, I think, really leverage that and do it. As Rick said, as Zoe, Sione as well. I think those foundations. So I won't hit on a lot of those as a repeat. Our lessons learned, though, in the process, and this was one that was hard for me. And I used to work with Zoe. Well, she did all the work, and I talked to her about it. But you know, in the past, I went really small on solutions, and I think with the technology that exists today, with these platforms, with AI, one of the things that we learned is we could go after more complex modes of data and that in our initial implementations. And so we really went after, for us, we went after inventory. So it's 200 locations, and I'll hit on some of that a little bit later. But you know, pulling that from every location, kind of like the bill of ladings that Rick highlighted, I feel every inventory location wants to be unique and therefore sets up all their data a little bit different, somewhat just to be mean or whatever the point was. Um, but getting that tied up really freed up our employees. And so that was a challenge and a lesson learned for me, is that we could actually go at something a little bit bigger with the technology solutions and team members that we're dealing with now than what we could before. Um, that created a better benefit and faster for our employees, which I think was great. Also for us, and this is, some of these are kind of common sense, but monitoring and tracking of the errors and really focusing on the correction improvement. And really, as we're implementing that, getting really tight, that's allowing us to use AI and other tools to analyze data as we go forward, looking at trend analysis, those types of things. So really, again, managing, going from data aggregators to solving problems and highlighting what those are, and using the technology and data that's out there to really provide analytical tools for us to make better and quicker decisions. Probably should have hit on this one first. It's always in there. I think Zoe hit on it a lot, which is buy-in from personnel. I tend to believe management is important, but our team members are really what matters for us. And their buy-in on these tools and that are just critical. And I think there's always a natural skepticism whenever you bring something in. What's going to happen to my job? What does this mean? But spending the time with ClearDoc, spending the time with one of our consulting partners, Optimus, and looking at that, our team members quickly saw that their lives are going to get better, and some of their complaints about doing things manually are going away, and their job satisfaction in that, I think, is much higher. And so our buy-in on these solutions that exist today are faster than what I've seen in the past. And then finally on here, partnering with the right people. And again, I highlighted, that really drove us. We've had a good relationship with Optimus for us here in Houston. They know our business, they know our people. And then ClearDocs is a clear differentiator for us. I think in the past, a lot of us have tried to control all of the IT solutions and those kinds of things. And really, at the speed in which this goes, I love handing this to Rick Nelson and saying, "This is your baby. This isn't ours. We don't need to be experts in the technology. We need to know our business and our processes and partner with the right people." And I think they've done a really good job of that. Both of the consulting partners we spent time with, they have the business understanding. ClearDocs understands this stuff. So our questions, they were prepared for 90% of them before we asked them. And I think that's critical as you're partnering up, because that drives speed of execution, and that we're all dealing in commodities. So we're not talking about dollars, we're talking about partial cents. And so speed of execution, getting there, getting the right solutions with people who know it, critical for us. And we couldn't be happier with the partners we've chosen.